College Football Today is a special presentation of ABC Sports.
Welcome to the Orange Bowl, or should we say Hurricane Heaven. 58 straight wins, and here come the Canes. ABC Sports, in conjunction with the College Football Association. The Washington Huskies of the Pac-10 pay a visit on the Orange Bowl in Miami. They will try to do something which no team has accomplished since 1985. The last loss, and oh, how Jim Lambright and the Huskies would love to do it here today. They will feature their Heisman Trophy candidate, Napoleon Kaufman, who leads the nation in all-purpose yards per game. So good afternoon and welcome, everybody. I'm Brent Musburger. First on the Huskies' agenda, upset the Canes. And remember, Miami is now favored by 15 points. Then the Huskies can concentrate on the Heisman Trophy for Napoleon Kaufman. No question, they want him to have a big day here on television against the Canes. But consider this defensive line, led here by number 76, Warren Sapp. It'll be a Sapp attack. And so my partner, Dick Vermeil, not an easy assignment for Napoleon.
Not an easy assignment. Napoleon Kaufman is a fine running back. We know that. But he likes to make a living cutting back. When you have the likes of a Warren Sapp at defensive tackle and a teammate like Riley playing the other spot, maybe the best pair of defensive tackles in the country, it's tough for the offensive lineman to keep the line of scrimmage clean and not allow penetration. It'll be tough to be consistent cutting back.
Dick, take a look around the Orange Bowl. It's a sea of orange, folks, and the Canes have won 58 games in a row down here. But there's a change in attitude with this year's team. Jack Arute will have that story in a moment.
Inside the all-new Monte Carlo is a personal space designed around you, the driver. Every instrument and control is exactly where you'd expect to find it. Every surface flows naturally into the next. And once behind the steering wheel, you find yourself in an ergonomically designed seat so comfortable, you'll be convinced it was designed especially for you. Who are we to disagree? The new Monte Carlo. It's genuine Chevrolet.
Hey, if you're with AT&T, how'd you like a nice bonus? Just for spending $25 a month on AT&T long distance. It's easy. Just one call, and first you get 20% off with AT&T True USA Savings. And then a bonus, AT&T True Rewards. Points good for free frequent flyer miles and free AT&T minutes. And only AT&T gives you both. But to get your bonus, you do have to call AT&T.
Your true voice.
This is a bucket of water, and this is the new Goodyear Eagle AquaTread for performance cars. A wide performance tire with twin aqua channels to sweep water away for outstanding wet traction. New Eagle AquaTread, only from Goodyear.
Dean Witter believed in listening.
Listen, not only to what our clients say, but what they mean. Each client has a level of comfort. Endeavor to find it. We measure success one investor at a time.
So you claimed $84,000 in entertainment expenses?
Yes, I did.
Do you have any receipts to back this up?
No, I don't.
Well, what's in the bag, then?
Tostitos, chips, and salsa. People really love them. And every time I opened a bag, I mean, one thing...
Tostitos tortilla chips are so deliciously perfect with Tostitos salsa. Next thing you know, it's a party.
I smell refund.
Really?
No, not really. Tostitos, prepare to party.
Back at the Orange Bowl, Jack Arute, I thought the Hurricanes were on tranquilizers yesterday at practice.
Well, Brent, throughout the course of the last 9 years, they've been called rogues, renegades, you name it. In fact, they've strutted their stuff, and their in-their-face attitude even necessitated the NCAA to put in taunting rules. But all of that changed at the end of last season. A 9-3 season will do that. It started back with Jimmy Johnson, moved to Dennis Erickson, but at the end of last season, Dennis Erickson got together with the team and said things are going to change. And indeed they have. The team is more focused. There's no strutting of their stuff. There's no in-your-face type pre-game attitude. In fact, when the team came off after their pre-game warm-ups, they walked out businesslike, very professional. The man that was out of control, taunting the crowd, the head coach, Dennis Erickson. Don't forget, they have fun here in the Orange Bowl.
Hi, Jack. 58 straight games. It was the Florida Gators of Galen Hall. There's the temperature in Ladies and gentlemen, especially up in Seattle, keep that graphic in mind. It could become a huge factor down here, especially the humidity in the second half. Right now it's 72 degrees. It has been muggy. And yes, it'll be the Huskies who will return to kickoff. There you see the big man, number 8, Napoleon Kaufman. He's their do-everything. And they will try to build the attack around Kaufman. Dane Pruitt gets us underway in Miami and whacks one right out of the end zone. And so it will be Damon Huard from Puyallup, Washington, who will bring the Husky offense out. There's his career statistics. Now set behind him, you know all about Napoleon. But to get something going, they are going to need the wide receivers to get free. Not going to be easy. There's great speed in that secondary. The offensive line, they've had a couple of games, a loss against USC, a fine victory over Ohio State. Frank Garcia anchors that group, matched against the defensive unit of the Hurricanes that features speed, speed, and more speed. Kaufman without a fullback, and they open up with 3 wides and a tight end, and Huard will throw on first down. Incomplete. Wanted his tight end Bruner on the opening play of the game. Threw high. Malcolm Pearson with the coverage. There now are the 2 defensive tackles. Sapp, we've told you about. Do not underestimate Pat Riley, number 43. He too will be a force in this. And C.J. Richardson, number 19. Ask Arizona State about him. He came down on back-to-back kickoff coverage units. 2 fumbles, 2 turnovers. And there is Riley down in the middle of the defensive unit, right next to Sapp. See what kind of pressure now they get against the Husky offensive line. They run at it. Kaufman's first carry, and they were ready. Dick Vermeil.
He starts right out by overpowering the offensive lineman. Brent takes on a one-on-one block there by Trevor Highfield, who is the biggest, strongest guy in the offensive line at the guard position. There he is, right center of your screen. He's an attack guy. He butts. They try to double him with a center. He comes off. Boom, ricochets right back into the play. Tough to block him one-on-one.
A 1-yard gain. 3rd and 9 now for the Huskies. And look how tough they are on 3rd down. Shotgun gives him more time. Throws high and incomplete. 3 and out. Washington punts, and he did not throw that ball well, Dick.
No, they had pressure on him from the outside, and Holmes, number 90, got his hands up and forced him to throw it high. But the Canes have been really tough on 3rd down, as you said in the graphic show. 3 of 27. And to stay on the field, you have to convert those 3rd down situations.
Jeff Prince punting. Jamie German, sophomore wide receiver from Fort Myers. Was hampered last year by a pulled hamstring. There was movement down in the line, the penalty flag, and the play was whistled dead before the punt. John Safi, longtime official, works in the Big East. He'll head up this crew here this afternoon in the Orange Bowl. 5-yard penalty wouldn't do much. Remember, they were 3rd and 9.
It will be Bill Diedrich, the offensive coordinator, Brent, for the
There's no
the
penalty.
Huskies.
The defense caused the offense to move. Therefore, it's no penalty. 4th down.
Said he wanted to come out right away and run right at him. And then also mix up the 1st down passing, both drop back and play action. They didn't want to run toward the sideline because of that team speed that you've already mentioned. Good high punt.
Fair catch at the 43. And so it will be Frank Costa, who lost his job and then regained it in the spring in a spirited duel with Ryan Collins. He had a career game in the desert against Arizona State. Behind Frank, the speed that Dick Vermeil and I have been referring to. And keep an eye on the young man from Vero Beach, James Stewart. He is fast developing into one of the better running backs in the country. Offensive line, the smallest member is the anchor, K.C. Jones. He's the ringleader, number 63. Ina moves in there as a starter at right guard, number 61. This is a very good Hurricane offensive line. Stewart is the running back behind Costa. Stewart behind the left side. Now defensively, that was David Kilpatrick making the stop for the Huskies, and this is how Washington lines up. Those of you, of course, in Seattle are aware it's a very gambling. They'll take a lot of chances on D. Steve Hoffman playing well this year, the nose man. He's been very active in their first 2 games. Lawyer Malloy happens to be a free safety that Mr. Vermeil has picked out in the videotape, and Dick, you love the young man.
Oh, yes, he's aggressive. He's got to be careful of reacting too soon to play action, though. They could get a post pattern in behind him.
It's a 5-yard gain for Stewart. So on 2nd and 5, Costa with plenty of time throws complete for the first down. Ball was being bobbled, but then Reeser could not get it out of Chris T. Jones' hands.
Well, Frank Costa told me they were going to doing a lot of checking at the line of scrimmage because of the variations of defense they're going to see. Here they're in an 8-man front, 3 deep. He audibles to a quick slant, 3-step drop, throws it to the right side of your screen against that tight single coverage, throws it accurately. Important for Frank Costa to start out positively today.
And he did, hitting Chris T for 14 yards. Man, you yell Jones to this team, and everybody jumps up and says, you want me? I only got about 6, 7 of those fellas.
There's that 8-man front. They're audibling right now. See that? They want to throw against that.
Instead, he audibles into the run this time. Give him a little change up, and it was there. Stewart found the outside before Lawyer Malloy could push him out of bounds, but it's another first down after the 11-yard run for Stewart.
See what he did then? He checked to a running audible to the soft part of the defense. He ran up behind big Zev Lemelski right here, the offensive left tackle. It was born in Russia, moved to Israel, West Germany, came here in 1982. He's traveled a long ways to make that nice hook block.
He could say hike in several languages.
Yeah. He does it physically as well.
26-yard line, 1st and 10 Canes on the move. This is their opening series. They forced Washington into a 3-and-out, 3 wideouts. All can run off to the right now for Costa. They're going to stick right on the ground. Stewart breaks back. Freelancing breaks another tackle and somehow turned what could have been a huge loss into only a 1-yard setback. Wonderful run by Stewart.
Excellent defensive line play by the defensive tackle inside on their offensive left guard. He did a great job of stuffing the point of attack, took the guard, put him right in the running back's face. He ricocheted off that and tried to do the best he could to make a yard.
Jackie Sherrill with a big upset at home. He had a week off. All he did was sit there and he studied Tennessee's heartbreaking, crushing loss at the hands of the Florida Gators, and Jackie was ready with the defense, and he springs the upset. Now it is 2nd and 11 for Costa. Getting a lot of good time. Great grab by number 87, Yatil Green, the freshman. That is his first catch. And the coaching staff will tell you that that young man right there could become the best wide receiver in the history of Miami. And that is saying something.
They're up in tight coverage. Now the corner up there, Reeser, number 4, is backed up by a safety. He's holding on to him. Now look at the leaping ability of this young redshirt freshman. He goes up, good timing. Expect them to go deep to him during the game today.
How fast is he?
Blinding fast.
4.23 told me yesterday. Folks, that's Deion Sanders. That's world-class kind of speed. 3 wideouts on 3rd and 3. Stewart again with Harris, the motion man, number 3. Costa fires! And Harris to the 1-yard line. 1st and goal, Miami. And they're making it look easy here on their opening series.
Well, see what they did that time is they moved Jonathan Harris. They like to play tight coverage down here. He will move in motion. Now this prevents the defensive backs. See him coming from the left. Now the corner, actually it's the safety 25 Lions, cannot press him as physical when he moves like that. Now he works inside. He beats him in that little inside move. 1st down, goal to go. Here they like to line up in a 3-back attack or a wing-back attack and want to run to the left. Up behind big Ricky Perry, number 73.
Derek Harris is in at fullback, number 34.
Oh,
and he is
what a
smashed.
nice play.
Great play by Malloy, who came breaking through, set him back to the 6-yard line. There's the free safety coming and whacking the fullback. I'm telling you, he was on top of it. What he folks for a 3-yard loss. And the Huskies are saying, Not quite as easy as you might have imagined down here.
Well, we saw him do this coming from the safety position a number of times against Ohio State to come up and stuff the run. Here it's goal line. He does not have to line up very deep, and he can attack. Tough to pick up that guy in that center guard gap, especially when he gets there in a surprise.
Now, Washington's personality is to play man-to-man defense, but you would guess that with all this speed, they've got to be thinking about some zones. We see more zone coverage down here with teams going in. He used a safety valve, threw behind Stewart. They don't bring that fella down on the first hit, do they?
James Stewart is big, 6'3", 225, and not only big, he was second in the state of Florida in the 100 meters, running 10.4. When you throw it out to this guy, you've got to bend your knees. Look at the beautiful hands there. You've got to bend your knees and strike. Get your arms wrapped around him. See, he didn't get his arms wrapped. He'll run through those kind of tackles. Too big, too strong, too fast.
What do you like on 3rd and goal, Dick?
Well, I tell you, they could very well go to their two-point play down here, Brent. They'll get in a double slot. Now they're checking it right there. If they get in a double slot, they'll try to work to the wide side of the field. From talking to Rich Olson, the offensive coordinator, quarterback coach. He calls all the plays from the press box.
Dennis Erickson's team attempting to score with the ball. You can see just rusting inside the 3-yard line. So it'll be 3rd and goal for the Canes. Now it's 4th and goal. Decision time for Miami. This is a wonderful goal line stand so far for the Huskies, and it did not take Erickson long. He sent field goal specialist Mike Chrissy trotting onto the field. He does not want to come away empty-handed on their first drive. It was Lawyer Malloy who set it up with that blitz, tackling the fullback for a loss, and that encouraged the rest of the defense for Jim Lambright to make what is a good stand.
Dane Pruitt, if he ever is going to miss one, he misses more in close, believe it or not, than he does from distance.
20-yard field goal. Chrissy puts the Canes up. It's officially a 19-yarder. We won't quibble.
It could only come from here. Canada, the home of ice. Molson Ice. Ice brewed by North America's oldest brewery to be colder and bolder. Yet smooth as ice. Molson Ice. From the land where ice was born.
Every company has an Edwina. The planner, the organizer, the one who tracks your packages. Only today, she's out sick, and you have to track them yourself. Luckily, she uses UPS. Just pop in our tracking software and you'll know when your package was delivered and who signed for it in seconds. Now, if only you could use it to find the bathroom key.
Most car manufacturers build their prototypes by hand, but we built the all-new Lumina prototypes on a prototype assembly line. We put it together, took it apart, then redesigned it so we could make it better when it went to production. It took us 18 months. But one thing's certain, there's quality in the build. Something we don't charge extra for. Guess that's what makes it a genuine Chevrolet.
They're bombing and blasting in a test of will. Monday night, it's the Broncos and the Bills.
On October 12th, 1985, the University of Miami defeated Cincinnati 38-0. People didn't realize that it'd be 9 more games that they'd be looking for over the span of 8 years, 11 months, 2 weeks. That includes those 2 leap years, Brent. And look at that, 282,441,000 seconds. There's a few more seconds since then, but I flunked math. We started this thing about 10 minutes ago.
Yeah, I noticed on the bottom of that graphic for Jack, we had give or take a few, didn't we, folks? Well, one of the things that has to encourage Washington is, even though they gave up a lot of completions to Costa, is the fact that Miami had a 1st and goal at the 2 and then settled for the 19-yard field goal. But now, can the Huskies generate offense? We're going to find out. Sheehy. 20 and no further. Great speed. C.J. Richardson, number 19, was leading the charge. He loves playing on special teams. Even though he has been here for several seasons, he would not give up his spot on those kickoff units, and he does it again. Now, folks, consider just how important it was holding Miami to 3 and not 7. They have not lost a game. They've led by 7 or more in the last 112 games. They're sitting on a 3 spot right now. That dates back to 1984 against Maryland in what was one of the wildest games that the Canes have ever been involved in. Now Huard brings it up. He will see if he can get some offense going with Washington's second series. The motion man, Janoski. You see how tight they're playing Bjornsson at the bottom of the screen. So it'll be Kaufman trying to find daylight, and he's ambushed. Dick, they have got to find something on the outside to loosen things up.
Yeah, well, they were trying to bounce outside with the counter play. You know, freeze those inside linebackers, then slide along and find a place to run over the strong side outside on the right, Brent, but it was tough. See, they got whipped on the line of scrimmage. Now, Holmes, number 90, gets good penetration, see, and he bottles it up, and that frees it for the linebacker, Burgess, to get in to make the play. Then he draws the rest of the orange jerseys.
Kaufman with a 1-yard loss on that play. So he's even for the day, and it's tough going right now for him. There's a crease. There it is. Napoleon slips through to the 26-yard line.
See, that time they got the defensive front reduced. They took the back out of the backfield, fullback, and lined up as a flanker. That took one of the linebackers out of there, and they ran right at it, running at 6 guys rather than 7. Easier to run.
Dick, what about Kaufman cutting on grass here in the Orange Bowl rather than artificial turf like back in Husky Stadium?
I asked him about it yesterday. He said he would rather cut back naturally on AstroTurf, but he felt this was a good, solid turf, and it shouldn't be an excuse.
Wide receivers out to the left. The defensive backs all over him at the top of your screen. So they used the tight end Bruner, and you could hear Lewis coming over there. He was right with Twan Russell, and they bring the tight end down.
See, they line up with a 2-back attack. Miami's thinking 4-3 defense. They take the back and take him out of the backfield. They've got the secondary kicked away from it. Now they have to put a linebacker out on that running back. Loosens it up inside.
First and 10 after that reception by Bruner. Now the Huskies go to the fullback. Richard Thomas is
coming
in front
after
of Kaufman, and Miami may have been offside. Let's see what happens down the middle. Incomplete and high on the blitz.
See, Sapp was right there in his face. You know, it's important to sack a quarterback, but sometimes a bigger play is a result. See what the penalty is here. Offsides.
Offsides. Defense. Still first down.
But I was saying, though, the pressure creates the poor throw, which is more susceptible to the interception. Sapp was right in his face. Tough to set up and throw accurately.
Well, the Huskies here doing a few of the little things, huh? First down pass to the tight end. They draw the defense offside. After the penalty, it's 1st and 5. Now they bring Kaufman, and Kaufman tripped up, and there was great penetration by Warren Sapp, the All-American defensive tackle that time. Gave you an indication as to why folks are so high on him. Let me tell you, if an NFL team decides to draft him and he stays healthy, you got a player for 10 years, folks. He's that athletic. You got to watch him with a basketball in his hands, his speed. He can run you down from behind. Got a wonderful personality.
He was actually a tight end here in 1992 when they found out he was a better defensive football player. But on that play, he absolutely destroyed the offensive guard.
Well, let's see what happens here on 2nd and 4. There's the flea flicker. Huard steps away from pressure. Janoski can't get a grab on it.
They're going for the big one. Bill Diedrich comes up with a good call on 2nd and 4. Hands it off in tight like they like to run. They flip it back, trying to get the safeties out of the heart of the defense down there. But again, it's Riley, the other defensive tackle. They doubled up. Now watch this right here. They double up right there. See, but it's Riley, 43, that here he comes to the right side of your screen. See, they don't get him. You can't double them both. He creates the pressure. The ball's still down the hole. A lot of orange jerseys show up by then.
3rd and 4.
Good job. Nice
Lunar
job.
hangs on for a first down. Let's go to John Saunders. John?
Brett, as you know, Colorado's already beaten up on a Big Ten school in Wisconsin. Today, they have Michigan and the Wolverines on the road, and they score first. Rashaan Salaam from 2 yards out bowls his way in, and Colorado has a 7-0 lead. Back to you, Brent.
Yeah, John, that's a big-time team. I was shocked to see that they were a 5-point underdog coming into Ann Arbor this afternoon. That team has got speed on the boundaries, more speed than Notre Dame. Michigan with its hands full in that one, but there's a long way to go. And here we got a long way to go with Miami up by a field goal, 3-0, and kind of a sloppy football game here in the early going. You know, we've talked about Warren Sapp. We've talked about Napoleon Kaufman. Let's bring Warren in, because I said, Warren, rate Napoleon Kaufman for me. How good a running back
Illegal
is
contact on the defense, still first down.
I'm not here to rate him. I'm here to tackle him. It really doesn't bother me, you know, how good he is. I mean, he puts his pants on just like I do, one leg at a time, so he can be stopped. So I don't worry about how good he is.
What a great statement. I'm not here to rate him. I'm here to tackle him. Folks, that's Mr. Defense down there. Now it is 1st and 5. Good play fake. Up high and incomplete.
See, they were in the 2 tight end offense that time. They used the play action to freeze the inside linebacker, keep Ray Lewis from dropping back, and then he takes a choice between either tight end going down in the seam.
So Pearson, number 38, good coverage. And I think that every time you watch the picture, and Husky fans have to be a little uneasy right now, the great speed, the number of orange jerseys you see when there's a Husky trying to break off downfield. This Miami team may be one of the most underrated teams in the nation right now. I don't think folks are giving them the kind of respect they deserve because of what happened against Arizona out there in the bowl game. They bobble it in the backfield, and he's down. Kaufman is down, and he'll take a loss back to the 40-yard line that time.
Toss the ball. Normally, when the ball is fumbled by the running back, he becomes a runner before he, in this case, though, it wasn't the running back's fault. The ball hit the fullback's hip. Fullback Richard Thomas hit him in the hip. That normally is the quarterback's fault. Jim Lambright came in here with confidence that they could play with these guys, and I think it's important to come in here that way. Gives your kids a positive attitude.
10-yard loss makes it 3rd and 15 for Huard. Incomplete. And Huard is not into that rhythm yet, is he?
No, Brent. And the other thing what pressure creates is all of a sudden you get the time to throw well, you hurry it when you don't have to. And I think that was the case that time. He's going to have to get a little better feel for when there's pressure and there is no pressure.
Dickey's completed 2 of 7 for 14 yards. As I recall, both were the 2 tight ends. So they have not yet got a wide receiver into the game as German goes back deep. I would expect to see pretty soon Fred Coleman, the freshman wideout for Washington, before we get too far along in this game.
That's a nice punt. That's a nice one. Hard to return that.
Jeff Prince drives German back inside the 10-yard line, and here comes a little of that hurricane speed. There's a penalty flag down. Could be a clip. German back to the 19-yard line.
Miami in their first 2 ball games have only allowed 57 yards a game passing, Brent, so they've got to come up with some other things to complete the ball downfield. Maybe it is a substituted wide receiver that they haven't seen. Holding, take it back.
Gives us an opportunity to take a break here. Hurricane heaven. They're up by a field goal.
Think of someplace private, someplace quiet, someplace comfortable, someplace truly your own. Now, think of it moving at 80 feet per second. Introducing the all-new Monte Carlo, a very personal space designed from the inside out around you, the driver. The all-new 1995 Monte Carlo. Genuine Chevrolet.
There's no place on earth that I'd rather be than out in the open where it's all plain to see that the land is pure, untamed and free. There's no place that I'd rather be. So come on along and head for the mountains of Bush Beer. Head for the mountains, it's cold and it's smooth and it's waiting for you. Come on, head for the mountains of Bush Beer.
Financial concerns, medical problems, anxiety about the future. 50 million Americans turn for help to one particular company, a company whose sole purpose has always been to bring them to a different state of mind. Peace of mind, security, protection, optimism. Peace of mind. It comes with every piece of the rock.
CFA College Football on ABC Sports. Brought to you by Chevrolet. The cars and trucks 36 million people depend on every day. Genuine Chevrolet. Budweiser. Beechwood Age for a crisp, clean, classic taste. The 25th anniversary diamond necklace for a brilliant celebration of your loving marriage. And UPS, the package delivery company more companies count on. Welcome to the Orange Bowl of Miami with Jack Arute and Dick Vermeil. I'm Brent Musburger. The Canes, with 58 straight victories here, lead by a field goal. And while we were away, that young man, Tremaine Mack, was over there practicing the long snaps. That may be the only weakness with his team. Stewart, the lone running back. The Huskies get down and ready now to see if they can shut him down here and bury him and make him punt. Get some field position. Great defense that time. Chambers, who's had a heck of a year, and Donovan Schmidt, number 52, who comes back into the starting lineup, gets it done. John Saunders, how's Air McNair taxiing today?
Well, Brent, he's off and running, or off and flying, if you will, early on here against Sam Houston State. McNair goes to Kobe Jenkins, 9 yards. It tied the game at 7 apiece. Sam Houston has scored again. They're up 14-7. Brent.
So we'll get to watch McNair come from behind with those highlights. ABC TV with regional coverage of a young man from a small school who is certainly getting a lot of attention and deserves everyone's consideration. Here is Frank Costa, the senior quarterback from Philadelphia, now with a 2nd and 14 after the 4-yard loss. The Huskies pressing with 7 up on the line. Stewart swinging to the left. Reeser meets him right there. Now, we talked about the Heisman, and I want you to pay attention to this one. There's Terry Dean. Florida's off. He's thrown for 775 yards. Napoleon, as you know, out in Seattle, he's rushed for 363. Take a look at Steve McNair. He has passed for almost twice as many yards as Dean, and he's rushed for as many as Napoleon coming into today's action. And you would have to think that McNair even leads Napoleon right now, who's got his hands full with this Miami defense down here. 3rd and 6. Husky defense looks good right now, Dick.
Yes, they're doing a good job. They went to a zone that last time. It looks like they're going to play zone again here.
Here comes Reeser, blindside corner blitz, and it's 3 and out. Great defensive series by the Huskies.
What they did is they showed a zone coverage and a corner rolled up like a double zone, and they blitzed him off the short side of the field and backed him up with a man coverage. Tough to read that. You'll see him rolled up as a zone corner would be for Reggie Reeser coming there. You don't expect it. Blind side of the quarterback. He can't see it. He's quick enough to get there. Incomplete pass.
Well, now number 24, Tremaine Mack, with a little heat on, but he was over practicing one time after another. Does not want to sail this one as high as he did against Arizona State.
He started practicing on 1st down.
Mike Chrissy ready, and he nailed it. No penalty flags down. Kaufman at midfield with the fair catch. So the Huskies have got some field position. They have to be encouraged with how their defense played on that last series. We'll be right back.
So have you made any decisions yet?
I'm thinking about taking the job up at Meyer and Holt.
Really?
Yeah, it's a lot less than I was making, but there really isn't much out there.
I'm sure we'll be fine.
You remember, about 7, 8 years ago, we talked to Craig Miller over at Payne Weber, and he thought there were some things we should do to make sure that we're covered. Jack's college, paying off the house, so things are going to be okay.
Lucky he knew what we needed.
He knew because he asked.
If you could listen to what people really want and design a car around that. If you could give them the comfort they want and the safety features they need, and build it to quality standards you've never met before, you'd have a pretty good car. But if you could do all this starting at $16,000, you'd have a genuine Chevrolet. Introducing the all-new 1995 Chevy Lumina.
Well, there's our regional lineup on ABC next week. See a game you like and maybe not coming into your area? Call your cable operators, as my friend Keith Jackson says. They'll take your money. UCLA coming into Seattle. He's something. Okay. Now, midfield. Good field position here for the Huskies. Dick, they have just got to get something going on the outside with the wide receivers.
Well, Bill Dietrich, the offensive coordinator, on these first down wants to change up and go ahead and throw the ball from the drop back game. Here he's going to come a little play action pass. He's got a man deep.
Didn't see him. It looked like he was just thinking run all the way and got back for the original line of scrimmage. Let's go to John Saunders for an update. John, what do you got?
Well, Brent, Stanford's defense in trouble already. Down 7-0 to Arizona. And Dan White hooks up with Richard Dice, 14 yards, 14-0. Antoine Carter has the other touchdown. That's the score right now in the first quarter, Brent.
Yeah, I don't think Coach Walsh will be shut out, but he might give up 30 or 40 today. All right, 3-0 here. Miami with the lead. 2nd and 9, 1-yard gain on the Heward run.
Here goes the back out of the backfield. Reduces the defense inside. Now they're running against 6 people. A little bit easier.
Kaufman daylight. Oh, did he get hit after a 7-yard gain and scrambling to the ground? Rohan Marley, you know the story about him.
Now you'll see that they take the fullback and move him out of the backfield. Initially, there's 7 guys in there to defensive run. They took the fullback out. They're minus this linebacker here. Now, 1 less person to block, a little bit more room. They use step-around blocking. Tessie, number 54, came around, and now they just give the ball to a good running back. They're going to have to use a little more of that approach.
Needing 65 yards to become their all-time leading rusher. He'd pass a good one. This is Kaufman.
They tried a quick trap in there, and they weren't quite quick enough. And the defense is just shaking their head, saying, no, you didn't make it. I think you might as well go for it. No? No, it's not as... It's a little longer than I thought, Brand. I take that back.
You're entitled.
Yeah.
Coach can change his mind. There's still time. And Jeff Prince trots on out there. German standing back on the Canes 10-yard line.
Their fullback is a quarterback. He can throw the ball if they want to run a fake.
Boy, you were just determined to do something other than what they did.
Well, I think for them to do something offensively, they're going to have to do some unexpected things.
So you'd go ahead even in the first half, Dick, and admit that you're not as good physically and you don't match up?
No, I just think you've got to go ahead and do some things out of the usual. You know, they got a 58-game win streak for one reason or another.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, they're brutal down here, man. I've been in a few of their bloodlettings down here, folks. You can ask Notre Dame. Oh, they play you tough in the old Orange Bowl, they will.
Is that why some people here said, are you working with Mr. Notre Dame when I got in town here? I got to kneel you a little bit about that. I was hit about 3 or 4 different people gave me that shot.
I don't even attend Mass on a Sunday. I don't understand it, man. I just don't understand it. Larry Jones.
They're stacked up inside. Tough to run against that, but it bounced outside.
short side, first down. Lost the ball after he was out of bounds.
See, they wanted to go up inside. It was crowded, but they kept the line of scrimmage clean. No penetration, and he could slide along the line of scrimmage. You'll see what I'm talking about. The offensive right side of the line really comes off nicely here and keeps it soft so he can go whoop, right to the outside. See, they did a nice job there. Now, really a good soft corner. Hard to get in the running back's face when it's blocked like that.
You know, what's interesting is Larry Jones has replaced Stewart. Is the fact that they've got such great depth. And Jones comes in with a 13-yard gain. And down here in the heat and humidity of the Orange Bowl, sauna bath-like atmosphere, now they go back to work. And they pick up Gerard Daphnis, the tight end. And he has been a pleasant surprise for the coaching staff here in Miami.
Of all the people on this roster, they say he is the most improved and the guy they really didn't anticipate a lot from, and he's given him a great effort training camp and spring practice, and he's made a player. Here he is locked in over there. They use the motion to loosen up the defense, and they bring him in a crossing pattern. Good pass protection. Good pass. They should whop him right there and not let him cross cleanly like that. See, you should take him on and not let him cross cleanly.
Got into a foot race with Kilpatrick, and he won it, and Jones comes back to that short side, gets around Chambers before Malloy can push him out of bounds. And the Canes are finding some business over there on the short side, Mr. Vermeil.
Yeah, I know it. You know, even when you do things correctly, the quarterback takes a shot once in a while. Take a look at this last play. Number 11, Costa got it, throws the ball, and wham, down he goes. Mr. Hoffman gives him a little touch. Steve Hoffman is becoming a better football player. The coaches tell me he's learning to play lower. He's a big, tall guy at 6'6", but he plays aggressive, and he's learning to bend his knees. His brother was a fine linebacker at Washington years past.
Yatel Green, the talented freshman, number 87, checks in as one of the wideouts. He's come just off your screen, down toward the bottom. Costa. And he's looking for the speed right now. Almost hooked up with the freshman. Let's take a look at him now in isolation. You're looking at a future superstar, or so they say down here.
Well, here's a kid that, you know, he had 9 touchdowns his senior year in high school. He's always been able to get to the end zone. He has good speed. Tough, no safety help. You see, he has a step. If that ball's thrown properly, it's thrown at the right angle. Just a little too strong. Just a little too much in it.
He wasn't out running any fire hydrant either. Reeser,
no, hey, Reeser can play.
And he went right by him with that 4-2-3. And now it is 3rd and 1. Larry Jones, the running back. There is another one of the Jones. That's Chris T on the outside, number 85. First down, Miami.
Nice job there by Derek Harris, the H-back, a converted fullback. He did a nice job of blocking the outside linebacker and giving him that little crease as they made him slide along the line of scrimmage. You got to compliment Derek Harris on that play.
Dick, low-scoring first quarter. That surprised you or not?
No, it really didn't. I think these two teams are going to battle even. What you've got to watch for, I think it's from Seattle's standpoint, the Huskies, if the heat wears them out just a little bit more in the second half. That would be my concern, though it's been warm in Seattle.
Warm in Seattle ain't like warm in Miami.
They're loaded up strong side coverage, Brent. Throw it weak side. They got to play.
Steps up, escapes the pressure.
They got it.
And despite the flag, interference on Reeser, he got it anyway, didn't he?
I could see that coming, Brent. Very, very good read by Frank Costa. He looked up there. He had 3 receivers to the top of the field. They moved the coverage there. He had an isolation one-on-one corner on defensive back, and he took what they gave him. Did a real nice job. All coverage moved to the left side of your screen. Single coverage to the right side. He gets back, a little play action fake, helps hold the linebackers. He steps up inside that pressure, does not panic, throws the strike, bottom side of your screen. Nice catch by Chris Jones. That's T. Jones. We also have a Chris C. Jones.
So a reminder that at the conclusion of the game, we'll select a Chevrolet player of the game from each team. And for the 24th year through the Chevrolet Scholarship Program, $1,000 will be donated to the General Scholarship Fund of both Miami and Washington. Fellas over there trying to cool off, huh, Jack Arute?
Well, Brent, indeed they are. You know, you said the heat and humidity isn't as high in Seattle. Well, indeed. But what the team has done, the Huskies have imported these cool zone fans that mix water with the air. What it happens to do is it tries to absorb the humidity in the water droplets. It works pretty good, in fact.
Well, with 3 wide receivers, they'll hand off instead. And look,
oh,
give
my
me
God.
a break.
Give me a break there.
Hey, guys, it really does work.
That's
I'm
the
having a
end
better
of the
time than
first
you.
quarter. We just dock his pay 1 quarter, folks, for that. End of the first quarter. Miami 3, Washington nothing. We'll be right back.
When this country started expanding, American Express introduced what was right for the times. When Americans started traveling abroad, we introduced what was right for the times. When people wanted to carry less cash, we introduced what was right for the times. And today, when the world revolves too fast, American Express has a new credit card that doesn't. Introducing the Optima True Grace Card. The only major credit card with an interest-free grace period on new purchases, even when you carry a balance. A low interest rate if you choose to extend payment. And no annual fee. Just use it 3 times a year. Look for us in your mail or call 1-800-4OPTIMA. The Optima True Grace Card. The right card for the times.
Call for a large 2-topping crunchy thin crust pizza and get a medium 1-topping pizza free.
Yeah, Domino.
There are lots of reasons to buy life insurance. Here are 2 great ones. I'm State Farm Agent Mike Foley. As the Goff family has grown, so have their life insurance needs. That's why we get together for family insurance checkups. I make sure to explain all the options, then they decide on the plan that's right for them. Ask your State Farm agent for a family insurance checkup. It's a great way to learn about life.
When your father is a wild man and your brother is a madman,
Did you learn nothing in prison? That's what I learned.
trouble comes easy.
He's gonna rob the bank tomorrow with my brother and his crew.
But love
Showing me things I ain't never seen.
comes hard.
I don't want my heart broken. What you gonna do if you keep trying to save a brother that don't want to be saved?
They need me.
No, I need you.
Jason's Lyric, rated R, starts Wednesday at select theaters.
Shelley Fabre and Bill Pagabaki of Coach discuss sports and education.
We're all concerned about improving American schools. What advice do you have, Bill?
Sports.
Sports? No, we're talking about education.
Shelley, did you know that 96% of all high school dropouts were not involved in athletics or other extracurricular activities? Sports is a great motivator.
That's a compelling reason to support sports for boys and girls in high school.
Support America's youth through high school sports.
The skyline of Miami at a football game that everyone wanted back in 1991 when Washington and Miami shared the national championship. Remember how the USA Today, the coaches, voted Washington #1, and the Associated Press, the writers, voted Miami #1. So they traveled together to the White House. And now, for the first time in the history of these 2 schools, they are meeting on the gridiron. James Stewart back in at running back, 2nd and 10 from the 22. Costa tries to set the screen, and he'll throw it out of bounds. Very well defended. Hoffman had come over to that other side. Dick, here are the numbers. Kaufman held to 15 yards rushing, 6 carries first quarter.
Well, as you look at this, you see Washington rushing yards total 6 yards. That's not their style of football. Time of possession pretty even, but really being dominated offensively by University of Miami. No turnovers yet.
Well, now it's a 3rd and 10, and Sherman has checked in at wide receiver. Trent Jones is there, and Yatil Green, the freshman. They are determined to get 97 involved in this offense. And wouldn't you, if you had someone who could run and catch like he can? Costa's going to drop it off. They tried to set it to Green, and they get it into his hands, and Kilpatrick there defensively for the Huskies.
2 weeks ago against the Arizona State, they ran that similar play to Jamie German. He went for a touchdown twice on that same play. Defense this week. Now, Miami has a gimmick play off that. They're going to show that, fake the screen, and go deep. Look for that the next time they show that formation and action.
So, Dane Pruitt. This would put Miami up by a pair of field goals.
He's 10 for 15 in his career from this distance.
The 38-yarder hooks over. 6-0.
Looking good. Facing with your car is a great idea.
Yeah, especially when it's my new Grand Am.
Well, you couldn't take my car. It doesn't have analog brakes or an airbag.
Or 150 horsepower. Your car couldn't keep up with me.
Man, this engine is really smooth.
What?
I said you're really starting to move.
Hey, where are you?
Cowboy, still a modern-day hero, standing up for what's right as he rides across this land. He still earns every dollar to pass through his hands. So here's to the cowboy as he heads for the mountains. No place he'd rather be than right here. So come on along and head for the mountains of Bush.
They were really growing up fast. Too fast. All Kelly talked about was going to high school, and all I could think about was paying for college. Sure, I played around with a few mutual funds, but I was no expert. So I started talking to someone who could help, a broker at Dean Witter.
We must plan for our client's future as if it were our own.
Funny, kids think their parents always have the right answers. I'm just making sure I do.
We measure success, one investor at a time.
The Michigan Wolverines invade Iowa. Colorado tackles Texas. For regional action from the Pac-10, Big East, and ACC. Next Saturday on ABC's College Football.
September 7th, 1985, Jimmy Johnson leads the Hurricanes in all orange into the Orange Bowl as they play cross-state rival, the University of Florida. Now, they're in all orange. Kerwin Bell was the quarterback, and Galen Hall was the coach for Florida. And Johnson lost 35-23. But, Brent, as they say, the rest of the story was it was the team that convinced Jimmy Johnson to outfit themselves in all orange. After the game, they said they looked like giant pumpkins. Said never, never all orange again.
Gators said trick or treat after that one was over, but that was the last time Miami has lost. An NCAA record 58-game home winning streak. They have beaten up on teams from all across the United States. We'll show you that graphic later in the day. Now Pruitt, who's hit a couple of field goals with the kickoff fielded by Mike Reed, number 36, and Reed brings it out to the 34-yard line for the Huskies. And Damon Heward unable to get any kind of a passing game going yet for Washington.
You know what they might start doing is trying to get the ball to Kaufman out of the backfield as a receiver. Get him on that linebacker, because I really think the edge from a wide receiver standpoint against Miami's secondary goes to the secondary. They can run with those guys.
Ernie Conwell, one of the tight ends, has caught a ball. So too has Mark Bruner. Kaufman and number 52, Ray Lewis, one of the better middle linebackers, just came and swallowed him.
See, he's quick enough he can run through. You don't want to run through unless you can make the play. Here he is right here. Now, see, he's going to scrape off and make the play. You've got to be careful. If you get picked up there, you're in trouble, but he doesn't get picked up. He makes the play. Very quick sophomore linebacker, excellent athlete. Average team speed of that defense is 4.64. Brent, that is faster than my Super Bowl team.
Faster than your
Faster than my Super Bowl team was, yes.
Phenomenal. A 2-yard loss. 2nd and 12. No wonder they haven't given up a score.
No wonder we lost the game.
Heward incomplete and being bobbled by Earl Little, a free safety.
Earl Little is a backup to C.J. Richardson. He goes in there. He's done a good job. You know, he originally went to University of Michigan, worked his way up to the second squad and left. Came here. Here he is playing. He's got 3 years of eligibility.
It's 6-0, 2 Miami field goals. The main storyline here so far is the performance of Warren Sapp and the Hurricane defensive unit. They are dominating the game. Watch the two fellas on the inside defensively. They work a trick. Riley came free, but there's the completion to Kaufman. There's what you wanted, Dick. Little came in a little bit late on that after Chad Wilson made the stop, but they are still far short of a first down.
Yeah, on 3rd and 11, throwing a flat pass to the back is not a great way to get your first down. You've got to get it to him going upfield so he can juke a guy, go get his pads heading toward that other end zone and run at those safeties. We have a man down.
Dick, it's amazing. When I came to town, you'd already been over there, watched half dozen reels of tape and talked to 16 coaches over there. But I really was impressed with how you were so impressed with what's going on down here in Miami.
Well, it was just the best football team I've seen. Now, and I talked to Coach Erickson about this, and he says, you know, I'm sort of hesitant in saying this, but I have a feeling this could end up being my best football team. The coaches, you know, they've changed, as Jack Arute said early. They've gone to a disciplined approach. They're on their tails. They're coaching them every snap. The practice on Thursday, yeah, it was a war out there in terms of discipline and forcing people to do what they're coached to do on every snap. I was very, very impressed. And plus, they're coaching the right kind of guys, fine athletes.
Now, this is the team that Dennis Erickson, who played collegiately out of Montana State, I might mention. That's for you folks in Montana, by the way. But anyway, this is really the first team that he recruited. Now, Frank Costa, we asked him about the change in attitude, and here's what the quarterback had to say.
So far, it's worked. But, you know, since I've been here as a freshman, we would come out on Fridays and on practice day and go into our special teams. Friday's special teams day for us, and we have our defense over there dancing, and they'd be going through a big dance routine, and the offense would be, you know, messing around. The receivers be throwing quarterbacks routes and things like that, and then we just go through our special teams and get out of there. Now it's much more business-like. It's the deal where our defense is going over sets and formations and motion adjustments, and our offense is going through special situations like coming out from the 1-yard line, punting from our own end zone, things like that. And Carl's right. It has discipline in a way.
Well, there they are. You can see the approach down on the sideline. Not a lot of towel waving. We're going to come back and show you Frank Costa and the offense. They've been unable to score a touchdown. 2 Miami field goals, up by 6.
Zay, you're out for a beer.
What do you have?
Beer. What if there wasn't any beer?
Sorry, guys. Never heard of it.
Oh, Zima. Zima's good.
There you go.
What is this? No, just Zima's a unique alcohol beverage. I kind of like it.
Anything else?
You got pretzels?
What day is this?
This is one long game.
They even ran out of food.
The fans must be hungry.
I'll tell you about hungry.
When it's gotta be good and it's gotta be now. Pick up the phone, we're gonna knock you out.
Call for a large 2-topping crunchy thin crust pizza and get a medium 1-topping pizza free.
Did you see that?
It's twilight. Sunroof's open. We're cruising down the coast highway in my new Bonneville. Yeah, I'm in an evening dress. He looks great. Soft music on the CD. He leans over and says, "This is nice. Dual airbags, traction control, over 200 horsepower. He even knew it was almost 15 grand less than a BMW or Lexus. So it was love at first sight. You could say that."
There's a mighty fine football player there, Mr. Sapp. He's only a junior, but I think even down here, everybody expects him to go into the NFL. He's very polite when you ask him that question. He says the right thing. What he's concentrating on is winning football games down here, but I don't think he'll be able to say no They're going to come after him. A couple of expansion teams, one in Jacksonville, one up in Charlotte. He'd make a heck of a first-rounder for you, let me tell you. James Stewart's in at a running back right now. Look at that defensive front for the Huskies. And Costa, with no one over there, just simply kept it, Dick.
There's a broken play. That happens everywhere. Stewart's going over there and talking to him. I think Costa might have gone the wrong way because Stewart's sort of indicating that. Hey, coach, that wasn't my fault. That happens. You get thinking about a lot of things. Plus, he's doing a check-with-me principle on a lot of the run plays, and he checked with the wrong guy that time.
The Orange Bowl in Miami, and the Hurricanes, favored by 15, lead on the strength of a couple of field goals, a 19-yarder and a 38-yarder. Dane Pruitt's the kicker. Trent Jones, Tellison, and Green are in, and this is Stewart. First down, Miami.
A nice job by Zev Lemelski over there, not overpowering the defensive end, but just opened him up enough to allow that crack up inside and make the first down.
Two pretty good quarterbacks go at it on Monday Night Football here on ABC. Jim Kelly and the Buffalo Bills coming off a win, and Denver. Denver's defense may be the worst I've looked at here in the last couple years. And let's see what they can do. Pride on the line. John Elway will try to generate some offense. The Broncos and the Bills Monday night here on ABC. Three wide receiver. Costa steps away from the pressure again. Comes near side and unable to hold on is freshman Green.
Costa's showing some real poise. Remember, we saw him last year early in the season, and he would have really not handled that pressure as well last year at that time. See, he stepped up underneath it, stayed with the concentration of the pattern, threw the ball almost catchable, but good poise.
Doesn't want to make a big mistake against Lambright, a very opportunistic defense. He was the defensive assistant under Don James out of Washington, moved to the top spot after James stepped down shortly before the start of last season. Lambright, a very positive fellow, still has a great gambling defense. They could really put some pressure on. Stewart gets through, always holds in the middle. If Malloy forced to make the stop there, if you can get through the middle of that pressing defense of the Huskies, you can turn in a gain, and he does for 19 yards.
And they went north-south right at him. Just base man-to-man blocking, just quick. They had the linebacker walked out of there. See, nice blocking here. Center comes and picks up here. They turn out there, and they hand it off. Look at that. Actually, they trapped it. Hey, boo-bee, Brent. That nice trap, and he ran behind that pulling guard. Good execution. Didn't see it that way from up here.
The camera doesn't blink, man.
You bet it doesn't.
What a high school record he had in Vero. Timeout. Costa saw something defensively that he was not comfortable with, so he'll come over. We'll take a break. Miami leading 6-0 over the Washington Huskies.
What am I doing here with you?
You're my brother. It's your genetic obligation to help me.
Right. So, the Grand Am has a 150 horsepower engine, standard.
Oh, it is a blast to drive, and the balance shaft makes it smooth as silk.
Standard airbag and
Anti-lock
anti-lock brakes. Exactly.
You know the Grand Am costs thousands less than the Accord or the Camry?
Really?
Yep, I researched it.
Well, you've made a smart choice.
Thank you.
Yeah, so what am I doing here?
You're helping me pick out a color.
Color. Yeah.
Richard Belisle used to cut study hall every day to go back to Mr. Garber's math class. Last year, Matthew Garber became a teacher with the help of a scholarship from Hitachi and the College Football Association. And already, he's got quite a following.
Private university dedicated to excellence, the University of Miami.
Well, there's the Bowl Coalition top 25. That'll help sort out who is the national champion. I think the national champion will come from one of those first 8 schools there. Someone will start to run the table. Not quite sure who it might be. These teams, of course, all with a chance to jump into the top 10. Nice performance by Wisconsin today. I mean, they buried an unbeaten Indiana team. They were all over Alex Smith, that great freshman running back, and there that rounds out the top 25. Tennessee, not a great shock, even though they were favored. Not a great shock that Mississippi State dumped them today. James Stewart's the running back. Chris T. Jones, bruised shoulder, due back later for Miami. Harris, the motion man, number 3. They go to him when he's in motion. Costa guns it for him, and there's a penalty flag down. Incomplete. Lions with the coverage.
The Huskies are playing tight coverage. They're going to have to threaten them deep. Again, go back to the weak side of the formation. Get the defense all the way over their strong field and go back to that single coverage guy if they're going to hit the big one. Huskies are really challenging, playing with great confidence.
He has roots out in the state of Washington. His father was the coach up in Everett, Washington. And matter of fact, Jimmy Lambright played for his daddy for a time
in high school.
Yeah, played for him for, I think it was a year. Dennis, of course, becoming a coach. So there's a lot of connections here between Dennis Erickson and Jim Lambright and the Hurricanes.
Among assistants coaches as well, Brent.
Yeah, Jack Arute, that's some connection, huh?
Well, indeed it is. But, Brent, you want to know how tough Jim Lambright was as a linebacker at Everett High School? It seems like he was knocked out 6 separate occasions in his senior year. So there was a nearby Air Force base. They went to the Air Force base and got one of those F-16 fighter pilot helmets, put that on him. He went out. He got hit 3 or 4 times. He says, I look like a nerd. Long before nerd was popular, he says, give me back my old helmet.
Costa's got trouble. Buried from the backside. And it goes over. The turnover. It was Richie Chambers who jarred the ball out for Lambright.
Frank Costa should have been able to see that coming. They had 10 people up on the line of scrimmage. You know, you don't do that normally and go back and play zone. Even if you have your back to it, to the right side of your screen, 32 Chambers coming. See, he's not looking for him, but he knows he's coming. He's got to get rid of the football. Got to get rid of the football.
Now, Jason Chorick recovered the fumble.
First turnover of the game.
Damon Heward with an opportunity. That's what a defensive coach like Lambright loves better than ever. Give me a turnover and get it in positive territory. Kaufman now cuts to the right for 4 yards.
See, that's what they like to do. They like to get in the 2 tight ends, 2 wide ups, balance the front, keep the line of scrimmage, and let this fine running back find a place to run. Against the Ohio State Buckeyes, he found a place for 211 yards. Tougher today. But if you give him a crack, he'll end up in the end zone. Again, 2 tight ends, Brent, 2 wide outs.
Heward, complete to Bruner, and I believe he's short of a first down. We'll see C.J. Richardson, number 19, was there for the Canes.
They have a special coverage package in for Bruner. They're going to set the safety in his face, play him tough, and bracket him inside and outside on a lot of formations with 2 linebackers. He's going to have a tough time getting the ball consistently, especially on passing downs.
Dick, he did step beyond the marker. Let me correct myself on that. That is a first down for the Huskies, so that was an excellent move by Bruner in going out of bounds. The ball is at the 38-yard line. Marley in defensively for the Canes. Heward ran the option look, and number 96, Kennard Lang, came from behind.
They got some good blocks, but it looked like it's going to break from up here, but everybody can run so well. You said Kennard Lang. He's a big 255-pound defensive lineman coming down the line of scrimmage to make that play. A backup player, an outstanding athlete. They think he's going to be a dandy. He's a redshirt freshman from Orlando.
Dick, can you make a living offensively with a great running back and 1 tight end?
Tough. When you have very fine corners, tough, because they'll challenge you. They'll outside or go double zone and double them up.
Heward off a play fake, incomplete, and that time he wanted Conwell, his other tight end. This is going to leave them with a 3rd and 7.
See, he saw the coverage. He knew what he was attacking. He thought he had it because it was the right coverage. Just hit in between the rolled up corner and the safety rotating over there. It just couldn't get it done.
Bjornsson and Janoski being bottled up. Heward will try again. Complete. And it is Bruner, his main man, for another Washington first down. It's going to be very close. Let's hold on where they spot it now.
The one thing you're going to do for a quarterback to let him throw the ball is give him pass protection. Peterson here does a nice job of turning out, picks up Lang. See, he does a good job. He jams with his hands, keeps his feet moving. There's the pocket. There's time to throw the completed pass.
It was not a favorable spot for Bruner, and that leaves this in jeopardy a little bit. Let's see what the chain gang proves one way or the other. Got it.
Greg McCacken, the defensive coordinator for the Hurricanes, they have a goal every week. Don't give up a touchdown after a sudden change. In other words, after a turnover, you shut them out. Don't do it. And they've been very effective at doing that so far this year.
Dick, this is an amazing stat, but all 4 of Bruner's catches have been for first down, and that's their only first downs in this game. He has been their big receiver in this game. Ball inside the Huskies 30, a collision. Heward and Kaufman run into each other. That was an ugly looking play.
Boy, there's a miscommunication right there. One guy running one play and the quarterback running the other. They're discussing it right there, trying to figure out who's at fault. It doesn't matter. It's still -2 yards. That's an experienced pair right back there. That should not happen. Unless it was an audible and one person didn't hear the audible. See, this is what you don't want. You don't want 2nd and long.
The freshman wide receiver, as you watch that replay again, has checked into the game. Fred Coleman is in on 2nd and 12. Heward looks in his direction but cannot get away from Riley.
He has great pass rush skills. If you jam him and set short, you can block him. If you give him any room to get running upfield, then he really becomes a pass rusher. He has 4.7 40 speed for a 293-pound defensive lineman. Boy, that's awfully fast. He'll probably play defensive end in the NFL and not defensive tackle. The life of Riley, it's no life of Riley playing on him. He, too, creates a lot of negative yardage plays.
Interesting that we have a K.C. Jones and a Pat Riley for you Hoop fans. 3rd and 17. It's Lewis. He's picked up by Kaufman. Marley coming after the quarterback. The screen is there. It's Thomas. They've got him one-on-one coverage. A beautiful call against the blitz.
Nice job by Bill Diedrich coming up that screen call. See, you actually should defense a screen easily with the blitz. The man-to-man didn't get on him.
Watch this block by Napoleon Kaufman, ladies and gentlemen. Number 8 shows he's not just a running back. He picks up Lewis. Now Heward beats Marley.
There he is. See, now there should be a defender locked onto him man-to-man. He might have got picked off by the screen blocking wall. I don't know. But they did a good job of handling that blitz.
Now 1st and goal. This could be huge after Richard Thomas ignites the charge for the visiting Huskies. Kaufman is behind Heward. Heward hit on the release, intercepted. And it was Ray Lewis at the goal line picking it off. But it was the fact that he was under enormous pressure when he released the ball.
And he had a tight end wide open for a touchdown. There, see, the pressure was better than the sack. They hit him, threw the ball, wobbly, picked off. Tight end was wide open. Watch the tight end over here come right down and doesn't do any good. Good, strong fake inside there. Now watch the tight end. See, he's there. Look at, he's standing in the end zone. He wants the football. Can't get it off.
And credit Twan Russell. Twan Russell came off the corner and came free and hit Heward as he was releasing the ball. That allowed Lewis to make an easy interception as the ball floated into his hands. Now I want you to watch Russell. Watch number 45 coming from the blind side. Got him right there on the left hip. And that's what allowed Lewis to have an easy interception, and there's a whistle.
Boy, turnovers are bad, but when you turn it over going in to score, a chance to get back in the ball game and take the lead, and you turn it over, boy, that kills you. The one thing from a defensive standpoint, if you turn it over down here, you still leave the offensive team about 90 yards to go to make anything out of it. That is, if there is an advantage in this situation. Husky defense playing very well today.
Colorado up 14-3 as a 5-point underdog in Ann Arbor, so that's speed, speed, speed. What a great young linebacker Lewis is. How about this? 14 shutouts down here during that fabulous win streak of theirs. Opportunistic defense. Another big turnover.
Oh, great defense.
Was jammed at the line that time. Justin Thomas, number 5, amongst the Huskies there.
Justin Thomas did a beautiful job of fundamental defensive technique. Not as big as that offensive tackle, but he stuffed them with good fundamental technique. Right over here. Now watch him come in and wham, stuff it right up. See, he pops him right up there, stops him at the point, ricochets off, and makes the play. Can't do it much better than that.
2nd and 17. This has become some defensive game, hasn't it?
Yeah, two very, very well coached defensive football teams. I still think Miami's got to go ahead and test them deep more often. Huskies don't have that advantage because they lack the speed at the receiver position.
Stewart, nothing doing.
They tried that same trap play back inside. They pulled Alan Simonette. It was stuffed inside there by the two defensive tackles. Mike Iwuliko, rather. He's a very, very active guy. Remember him in the Ohio State game? Made a lot of good plays, Brent.
Yeah, he had a fine game against the Buckeyes. 3rd and 16. What I remember is the good times we had in Seattle, man. That was a great road trip.
Hey, that is one of my favorite places to go.
Yeah, me too.
Good city, good stadium, good people.
They love the Huskies.
Good food there.
The market was good down there, huh? They got how many wide receivers they got out there? 5 in this package? I think so.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
Here's that screen.
This is German trying to slip free. He was stumbling all the way. And they needed, remember, 17 yards to get the first down. So they are far short of it. And they send the punt team onto the field. And Termaine Mack, he gets to see if he can deliver another one.
He is such an active football player. So we got an official there. Took a whack.
Yeah, official.
7 yards. 4th down and 9. With a 13-yard line.
Checking his glands, yeah.
You know,
checking his jaw. He must have got hit in the jaw.
Yeah, it looks like it. Huh?
Well, that's smart.
He's tough down there. Well, we got a moment here. Let me remind you about prime time tonight. It's, you know, the commission will be along, but how about Crocodile Dundee 2? Have you seen that one? That's a good one. That's a family movie. Everybody can enjoy that one tonight on the network. And the commish, he's coming on. Old Crocodile Dundee. You ever been down to Australia, Dick?
No, I haven't, but my wife wants to go.
Yeah, we ought to go down there and see if we can find old Crocodile. He has some good times back there in the bush, man.
They had good wine in Australia, too.
Not bad beer either. Now, I'm going to go back there. It's Bob Marley's young son now. Saw him yesterday. I said, Rohan, I said, you're looking more and more like Pops every day, man. I said, Rohan, I'll tell you what you do. You sign with the World League. You go over there. There it is, huh? See what's happening? Bring on
no locks here. Look at that. No locks.
He looks much better. I said, you go over to Paris or someplace like that, the World League, man. You go to the World League Hall of Fame.
He really can play football. He's just about 4 inches too short, but he can play.
Jack Arute.
Well, Brent, remember last year he decided to shave his head, and there was a lot of talk about the fact that Rohan Marley didn't like to talk about the fact that he was the son of the great Bob Marley. But he has a daughter that was born a little bit after the debacle at Arizona last year in the bowl game, She's in Haiti right now, and Marley has embraced the Rastafarian religion. He says the dreadlocks are what I am. I'm a Rasta, and I will be a Rasta. And he says a lot of this has helped me to stay more focused, not only upon football, but also upon life.
Yeah, should be proud of Pops. May not want to talk about it, but he didn't have any trouble spending the inheritance, did he?
I saw some Rastafarians on one time on a vacation over there. I'll tell you, they scared me to death. I hope he didn't fall into that group. Right.
Montego Bay. We'll be down there for a golf tournament in December. Now there's Napoleon Kaufman.
What's his wee stuff?
We've tried everybody else. Why don't you come on down?
Yeah, I would really be good at golf, wouldn't I? Yeah. My 106 average, I'd really be good.
Oh, Chrissy is standing back there to punt it.
And here's the time they need a good long snap.
Yeah, let's see if my young man Mac can deliver. Right there.
Lousy punt. Lousy punt. Pick it up and run.
Wow. Now Kaufman. Oh, wow. Woo! What a special team player C.J. Richardson is. No one takes any more pride in special teams than C.J. Richards. And how do you do, Mr. Kaufman?
Does he hit you? He came here as a running back. Big special teams player last week, as you were talking about early. He just they thought about taking him off the special teams. And he said, no, Coach, I would like to stay on the special teams. He demonstrates why here. He is a good open field tackler. Plus, he's instinctive. He knows where to get. He plays the discipline, and wham, fundamentally, he can hit you.
And after that, Leon Neal checks in for a spell at running back. He's replaced Kaufman. He is set down there in the eye, and Thomas just blasted into the middle of that defensive line. A little bit different strategy. Baraka Short, number 50, who's getting a start today, made the stop. Maybe they're going to run the fullback and try to do some business straight ahead, Dick.
Yeah, and maybe come off with the option. I look for him to get the ball to Eric Bjornsson. Now, Eric Bjornsson's not a burner, but he's tall, and he can leap and make the big plays, and he's made a couple big plays already, but he hasn't had his hands on the ball yet.
I keep trying to tell the coaching staff to put that end-around pass in, but they never put it in the game for me. He used to be a quarterback there.
Here's that double tight end formation. They like to run check with me counters on that. Maybe not on a second down situation.
Need 8 yards, and now even for Sapp and the rest of those fellows, Riley in the middle of that defensive line, it's not fair giving them a head start. They're tough enough.
You bet they're tough enough.
Offsides on the defense.
They've drawn them offsides a couple times in this game, haven't they?
Using maybe a little bit of a hard countdown. They're barking out that second sound just a little bit tougher.
Well, a reminder coming up in the half. John Saunders will take you around the country and tell you what's going on. He gets you up to date with Aaron McNair and all the rest of the highlights. Arizona doing a number on Stanford last time we checked. Colorado beating Michigan at another one of the big ones. Down here, what a winning streak they've got going down here in the Orange Bowl, huh?
You know, Miami moves that defensive front around a little bit. And if you're the offensive center, one time you have Sapp, the other time you have Riley, the other time you have a headache.
And there comes another one of the headaches.
Yeah, but he did a nice job that time. Frank Garcia took him on, kept his pads down, did a good job. And he was an offensive guard last year. So he did a nice job. You got to give him credit on that.
You remember big old Lincoln Kennedy?
Oh, yeah, I remember
He
him.
might be watching here this afternoon. He's playing with the Atlanta. He needs to get it moving.
He's bigger than Lincoln now. I think he's up to a Mack truck.
He's bigger than the tower out there. Yeah, come on, man.
Yeah, 3-9-3-3-3. They got 2 drives out of this group. I still think they've got to be very pleased that it's just a 6-0 ball game.
Oh, I think they should be very encouraged. They had one bad series with the interception down at the goal line. They could easily be ahead in this game or down by 3. No, the Huskies have to be delighted.
Alert play action pass.
Need a little more offense. I mean, the Cane defense has smothered them. They have smothered them. Penalty flags flying all over. Short was in there. Scott was in there. You didn't like that, Mr. Vermeil.
No, I don't think they were all. I don't know if they were all on the same page.
Wouldn't be the first time here this afternoon.
Yeah, boy, 3rd down and inches to go. Gosh, guys, concentration. Lambright, assistant coaching at that time, is a lot easier.
How could that happen, man? When you get
sometimes it's late getting the call in. They don't get the communication real good in the huddle. Shouldn't happen. Should not happen.
Against Washington, 3rd and 6 on the 48.
This is tough now. This is what's tough. 3rd and 6 against these guys is tough.
Go find 85. Bruner's been their first down wide receiver. He lines up at tight end. They've been able to get him free there with Conwell down to the left of the quarterback, the 2 tight ends. Hewitt looks the other direction, though, and snaps one into the hands of a wide receiver. Dave Januski makes the first catch of the game for a wide receiver, and a first down Huskies.
Dave did a real nice job of reading the zone. See, they were going to show a cover 2, meaning corners rolled up, 2 deep safeties, and he rolled out to the outside there and just settled in the hole just enough to take advantage of that little hole in the defense.
Well, Huskies on the move again. See if they can cash an opportunity here in the first half. Like 2:15 to go. Hewitt getting time from his offensive line, and there's Coleman, the freshman. Freddie Coleman with his first catch, and Carlos Jones buries him.
Carlos Jones can bury you, and he can outrun you. You know, he's the Big East 100-meter sprint champion. You talk about speed in the secondary. The guy can run. And he just proved he can tackle.
Number 35. Tackle by Carlos Jones.
Kaufman returns. Interesting graphic as you think ahead. Yes. They will tell you, though, that they grew too conservative in the second half against Ohio State. They tried to run the clock out a little bit too early in that game, and they feel that they should have put down the throttle a little bit. Hewitt's getting time right now. Receivers were covered that time, so he'll slide into the 30-yard line and down to the 29-yard line. Going to be a little short of a first down, I believe. This will be 3rd and 2.
He wanted to go downfield with the ball. He saw the safety sitting back in there and didn't want to do it. See the cover 2 look? Up short, deep here, deep. He wanted to try to get down there, didn't like it, got the rush outside, and came up underneath on the scramble. Made a good decision. See him short coverage out there, safety now settling in a hole there. He didn't like what he saw, scrambled, slides in, almost first down.
Dick, I want to come back and ask you if you would use a prevent in this situation or if you'd have continued to attack. We'll be right back with that in a moment.
Oh, my son, the graduate.
So, Nikki, any plans now that high school's over?
You know, it's gonna work for me.
Not if you're smart.
You know what I think you should do? Stay close to home. You got plenty of time to work. Take the first thing that comes along there.
Give Anthony a call.
So what are you gonna do?
Well, we're going to study nuclear propulsion, satellite navigation. In the Navy.
Oh, great.
Way to go, Nicky. For more information on the high-tech skills that can help launch a career, call 1-800-USA-NAVY.
My mission was to clean the garage. I had to go in quietly, not because of the enemy, but because my family just couldn't stand the noise. So I armed myself with the new quiet superpower from ShopVac. It's the quietest shop vac yet. Nails, wood chips, glass, water. ShopVac's power wiped them out. Mission complete. I prepared for my next assignment. Diaper change.
Be as quiet as you can be with ShopVac's QSP.
Every day, we all find a way. A promise made, a promise kept, giving it our best.
Napa, we're the most complete source for auto parts. And all Napa parts are backed by a nationwide warranty program. No wonder more Americans trust Napa to keep their vehicles running.
We keep America running. We keep America running.
Welcome to San Francisco's Kezar Stadium. Little
Kezar
mist
Stadium.
over there. I remember that.
Gee, I remember that. I saw Hugh McElhaney, a great Husky, run some kickoffs back for touchdown that ball
I used to go watch
at
John
stadium.
Brody whack the Bears out
Joe
there.
Perry, Bob St. Clair, Bob Tonoff,
And they had some fun.
and Leo Namalini. Hey, you're talking my guys.
Hugh McElhaney might be watching us up there in Seattle. Hello, Hugh.
Yeah,
How you doing?
Third down. Hey,
Look at that efficiency,
yeah,
huh? Not bad.
darn good.
Now it's 3rd and 2 here with 1:08 to go in the first half. Huskies down by a pair of field goals.
Oh, hello.
And nothing doing as Kenny Holmes comes in and cleans up on the play. Decision time for Washington. They're 3 short of that first down, and they'll have to attempt a field goal here with John Wales. We got a moment here. Let's check in on some prime time shows headed your way this fall on ABC.
Sunday, come on over and invite yourself in for some really wild videos and a rollicking good time on an all-new America's Funniest Home Videos. Then, has a Jericho kid been cussing? Not me.
No way.
I'm clean. It's nothing a big brother can't handle, especially if he happens to be Mama J on an all-new On Our Own. Then, Lois goes undercover to stop a deranged rock star before his deadly wall of sound destroys Superman. An all-new Lois and Clark after Funniest Videos and On Our Own Sunday here on ABC.
And the viewing's not bad on ABC on a Saturday afternoon, the home of college football. And here, Miami, with that spectacular home winning streak, leading Washington, but only by a pair of field goals. The Canes have been unable to score a touchdown here this afternoon against Lambright's defense. And Miami's defensive coaching staff brings the team over for a little huddle here, Dick.
Greg McMackin's defense is pretty spectacular, too, at the Canes. You know, they haven't given up a touchdown yet. Now, at the end of this, if they don't score, that's 12 quarters of football and no touchdowns given up. Pretty good defensive football. Both teams, as you said, playing real good defense, sound, aggressive, well coached.
Dick, on a 4th and 3, would you kick, would you fake, or would you have called a play from scrimmage?
Well, if I have confidence in my field goal kicker, I go ahead and kick it right here. They say he's the most improved player on the team. He's getting a chance to prove it right now.
47-yarder, and it could be huge. Garcia snaps it. Bjornsson puts it down. And Washington on the board, and now it looks like a great decision. 6-3.
And a good momentum thing for them to go in at the halftime with a positive thing. Now what they've got to do is make sure they don't allow a big kickoff return, because Jamie German is really capable of it. Maybe you just squib kick it. Nice
Bjornsson's hold.
Yeah, good hold. He's got it down there in time. Not a great grab with both hands, but he got it down there in time. And this kid, this thing would have been good from about 50. He really nailed it. Lambright liked that one. Boy, you get that little edge. You haven't been able to get anything, and Jim says, nice going, young man. That's why I say you're the most improved player on our football team.
I think the most important play of the first half was Lawyer Malloy stepping into the hole when the Canes had it 1st and goal to begin a series. And on 2nd down, he came free on the fullback. They had to settle for a field goal. If they had taken the ball right in on their first offensive series of the game, this might have been a different football game.
No question. And, you know, you turn that around. The other great defensive play from Miami, they get pressure when Huskies are taking it down. So it's defensive pressure on both sides have made big plays.
Shipman, Al Shipman, and Jamie German.
I wouldn't kick it to him. I'd just squib it. Yes, I have confidence in my kickoff coverage. They've only given up 16-yard average in 5 kickoff returns, but I'll tell you, they got some gifted people back there. Just let it bounce around.
You know, with all this speed, give you an idea about the Washington defense, they have not given up a long pass reception yet today, have they?
They kicked it to him.
Give a chance. Shipman from the 1.
He's got some juice.
25, and he's got some power. Shipman to the 31-yard line, and Malloy is there again for the Huskies.
Well, he's just a redshirt sophomore out of West Palm Beach, Red Lakes High School. He came into the ballgame with 11 carries, averaging 14 yards a return, had an 82-yard run for a touchdown. You know, he has explosive speed and running ability demonstrated there.
Larry Jones. Shotgun look.
The Huskies are not playing a prevent defense.
4-man rush. Complete to Harrison, out of bounds. And that was Reggie Reeser, number 4, the best cover man so far this year for the Huskies.
Very good read by Frank. He wanted to go downfield. He saw the rolled up coverage, and the coverage backed off. The longer he held the ball, the deeper the coverage got over there. They faked the man, moved it to zone, threw it to the out of bounds guy.
Need to get the ball downfield, though, with only 34 seconds remaining. 2nd and 7.
Curious to see what coverage they come up with here now. Last time, now it looks like they're going to go to that 2 deep. Played a little looser, 2 deep safeties, more of a prevent type look. It's not, though.
Costa. The interference is called, and that gives him a field goal opportunity. Lawyer Malloy was all over Green.
But, you know, it actually looked like from up here that the receiver ran into him. Let's see how they interpret this.
Here's Yatil Green, 87. Now, you're right, Brent. It's Malloy runs into him. See, now, Malloy is a safety rotating inside out on him. Can't see the ball coming. Hard to stop. He runs into him.
Not the worst of plays with time running out. Remember, this is not the NFL rules, so we'll go back and we'll have a 15-yard penalty. So it is not the worst time to commit interference down
The only
there.
thing, that's a safety rotating over that side on the other side of the field.
On the defense, automatic first down.
One-on-one coverage. Should have gone over there. One-on-one coverage. See, the defense rotated to him, and he threw it into the rotation.
Folks, did I say anything about the coverage? Huh? I'm no coach. I'm just saying it was a 15-yard penalty. Ball up at the 49-yard line, and Costa going again.
There's where he should have gone last time.
There it is. Gone! Hang on. A.C. Tellison coughs up 6.
He had him beat. Should have gone there on the last pass. Good coaching by the offensive staff to recognize what the coverage was probably going to be. Rich Olson calls, hey, let's get after it again, and Tellison doesn't come up with it. Now, he's a redshirt senior, fifth-year senior. He's got to make this play. See, it's single coverage. He's got him beat deep. Here's Malloy trying to come over, helping. Can't get there. The quarterback has got to be sick. This little paisan is upset. I asked him about his favorite Italian restaurant in Philly. He wouldn't name it.
Coming back to the... Got another receiver open. Touchdown, Green. Yatil Green, the freshman, on the board. How about that? 51 yards. A star is born in the Orange Bowl. More appropriately, I should say, another star is born.
It looked like Russell Hairston, the corner, expected some help on it. Here he is rolled up outside, expecting the safety to get over there. See, he's expecting the help, but he should have chucked the man right there, not let him run clean down there. The safety doesn't get there. A blown coverage. A blown coverage touchdown. Again, a good call by Rich Olson, going deep 2 times in a row. Actually, 3 times in a row.
That is amazing with time running out, that they were able to get deep that often. Now, Dick, there's a situation where you might want to prevent against this kind of speed.
Oh, no question. No question. They had the right call. Someone broke down in the execution of it. I don't think that's a coaching error. I think that was a defensive breakdown. Either huddle call in the huddle was screwed up, or they just blew it from assignment standpoint after the ball was snapped.
Now, with the scoreboard sitting on a 12 for the Canes, Dennis Erickson calling a timeout because they want to go to a 2-point play here. But, Dick, let's go back and take a look at this play. With this youngster's speed, you cannot overlook 87.
No, here it is. See, now, I think he thought the safety was going to get here as he rolled up right there. It didn't happen. See, freeze it right there. Freeze it right there. See, he's starting to pause right here, and he's still pedaling. He should be coming here. He should be coming there. See, he's already there in his zone. He doesn't get him. He's late in getting. Actually, that was the defense called. That is a rotation defense. They're playing quarter, half field defense, and Hairston was just looking into the backfield and not paying attention to the receiver.
And he wasn't the only receiver open either.
No.
Did you happen to see some of those orange jerseys on the other side?
Yeah.
They burned that coverage. There you are, young man.
He averaged 19 yards a catch in high school. That shows why.
Remember him for your fantasy team, folks. In about 3 years, he'll be there.
Their 2-point play. They like to throw the slots on option patterns.
Costa has Shipman flaring middle. There it is to German for the 2-point conversion. And suddenly they look like the Canes. This is the team we remember from the Jimmy Johnson days. Strike fear into the heart of the secondary.
He just started outside wide and came flat down inside. The slot man ran the option hook inside like that. They swung the back. Good time. Not lost the game. It is led by 7 points or more in the last 112 games. It's always the first time, though.
Boy, it's nice to see a Miami team that doesn't taunt after they do something positive down there in the end zone. Just take the ball back, hand it the official, give it to me again, and let's score 6 more. Don't you like to see that? Well, now, there's a strange sight for me, folks, down there on the Miami sideline. Considering what Jimmy Johnson did to Notre Dame down here, I never thought I'd see the day when a priest would go down there. And I know that, times have changed here in Miami, folks. Holy Toledo's, look at this.
Here it is right here. He's going to come right down inside there. He's running a hook in here, and he's running a wide pattern. He reads it properly, plus he gets the time. See, he pulls the coverage out. He's running underneath there. He lets the defensive linebacker run underneath with the swing. Nice job by Jamie German and Costa.
All right, now it's 14-3, and in the closing seconds of the first half, the Canes burning. Sheehy buried at the 19-yard line. Now remember that graphic we showed you early. What happens when you fall 7 points behind Miami
in this stadium?
It is incredible.
They have not given up a touchdown this year, Brent. 12 quarters of football. Now, they haven't played, the toughest teams in the country. I think the Huskies the best team. It's still tough to hold people scoreless for 12 quarters that way from a touchdown standpoint.
Some of the fellows up at ESPN who see a lot of games, John Saunders and those fellows, they're telling me do not overlook Florida State. John will be along at the ABC halftime here, too. Intercepted.
Get out of bounds.
Pearson out of bounds with 1 second to go and time to attempt a field goal.
Mark Bruner, the tight end, fell down. He cut to the outside going to the corner. Heward let it go, and Bruner slipped and fell on that turf. Not used to playing on grass.
He did not get out of bounds in time, and the crowd not happy. Into the first half. John Saunders coming your way from New York. 14-3. The Canes lead it.
CFA College Football on ABC Sports, brought to you by Pontiac and your local Pontiac dealer. We are driving excitement. And Zima, a unique alcohol beverage. Stay tuned for the Prudential Halftime Report after this message and a word from our ABC station.
Do you know what Hitachi makes? Ready? Go. Does Hitachi make camcorders,
yes,
barcode readers,
yes,
hydroelectric power equipment,
yes,
clown noses,
no,
power tools,
yes,
TVs,
yes,
MRI systems,
yes,
beanies,
no,
oscilloscopes,
yes,
micromotors,
yes,
mass transit trains,
yes,
tongue depressors,
no,
PBX phone systems,
yes,
catnip,
no,
semiconductors,
yes,
lots of products,
lots,
over 20,000. Yeah, but who's counting?
So you claimed $84,000 in entertainment expenses?
Yes, I did.
Do you have any receipts to back this up?
No, I don't.
Well, what's in the bag, then?
Tostitos chips and salsa. People really love them. And every time I opened a bag, one thing...
Tostitos tortilla chips are so deliciously perfect with Tostitos salsa. Next thing you know, it's a party.
I smell refund.
Really?
No, not really.
Tostitos, prepare to party.
You let Vince drive your new Bonneville just to the game. Guy's a wild man. He wanted to see how the Bonneville stacked up to his BMW. I got his attention when I told him I had traction control, dual airbags, and even more horsepower than his BMW, and for thousands less. So you think he'll like it? Well, I suppose he does. Where is that guy?
This woman had an affair with the anchor man, and her husband got on the television and told the whole town about it.
I just think they're lusting for each other.
So the anchor man dumps the mistress on the television. Then she had a news flash of her own.
Did you not ask me to be your wife?
Now they're all here, and it is not over yet.
Last night you told me that you wanted me.
The anchor man, his mistress, and her husband. Next Oprah.
Monday at 4 on the one and only Channel 10.
Haven't heard about Once-a-thon? Then you don't know it's the best time of the year to buy a Toyota. It happens only once a year. Toyota clears them out only once a year. This is your once-in-a-lifetime chance.
Think about it. 2.9% financing when you buy any new Camry. That's the lowest rate of the year. And get the highest cash back of the year on Camry, $1,300. Never again will you get 94 Toyotas at these prices. It's your once and only chance. Once-a-thon.
I've got money in my clothes, money in your clothes, and music in my ears, music in your ears, and love, oh love, sweet love is in my heart. Oh, love is in your heart, money in my clothes, music in my ears, 'cause my baby loves me when I've got money in my clothes.
We'll take a look back between the Canes and Huskies Saturday night, Sports Jam Live at 7.
14-3, but the crowd was booing because they think that Miami should have had 1 second left on the clock. Now watch the time. Malcolm Pearson intercepts. Does he get out of time? Who mans the scoreboard?
Prudential Halftime Report, brought to you by the Prudential. Peace of mind, it comes with every piece of the rock. From our New York studios, your host, John Saunders.
And welcome. We hope you're enjoying your game here on ABC. Your second half is straight ahead. But first, plenty of scores and highlights and lots of action, including Nebraska, a team that's looked extremely strong this year, and Pacific found out the hard way. 70-21 is the final. Lawrence Phillips, 9 carries, 138 yards. Brooke Behringer with 3 touchdown passes. He ran one in as well as they just blow out the competition that wasn't really there. Colorado and Michigan, the big game of the day at halftime. The Buffs leading at 14-9. Tyrone Wheatley was back for the game, pumped up and ready to go. But Cordell Stewart early on here, a little fake, drops back to pass. Michael Westbrook for the touchdown. 14-3 was the score at that point. Tim Biakabatuka has run one in. They went for the 2-point conversion, didn't get it. 14-9 is the score at halftime, a game some of you are watching here on ABC. Another one here on ABC, Washington and Miami. 14-3 is that score at halftime. Frank Costa, no quarterback controversy this year, 51 yards to Green. He hauls it in. They get the 2-point conversion. 14-3 at that point, and that's where it stands right now at halftime. Dane Pruitt has 2 field goals in the game. Arizona and Stanford. For Coach Bill Walsh, his defense has been tough enough, or really struggling for him, and his offense struggling today as well. Dan White, 14 yards to Richard Dice here for Arizona. 14-0 the score, and then the defense goes to work. Desert Swarm all over top of Steve Stenstrom, gets the sack there, and Arizona has the lead 24-7 at halftime. Antoine Carter also has 2 touchdown runs, one of 10 yards, one of 3 yards. Notre Dame, the Fighting Irish, blowing out Purdue in the fourth quarter, 32-7 and score there. Ron Paulus has a touchdown pass to Charles Stafford of 15 yards, and Randy Kinder well over 100 yards and a 3-yard touchdown run there. A big surprise. Alabama has struggled on offense this year. They did it against Vanderbilt. They did it against Arkansas. They're tied with Tulane at 10-10 apiece. Damian Jeffries with a 24-yard fumble return for a touchdown got them tied in that game. Auburn blows out East Tennessee State 38-0. Stephen Davis, 16 carries, 120 yards, 2 touchdowns. They've won 15 games in a row. Texas A&M jumps out to an early lead over Southern Miss, 7-0. Leland McElroy returned the opening kickoff 100 yards for a touchdown. Done it 4 times in his career. He's returned kickoffs 4 touchdowns. Ohio State blows out Houston. 52-0 is that score. Houston shut out back-to-back times for the first time since 1965. BYU and New Mexico, one of our games here on ABC, and BYU has the lead there. John Walsh with 2 touchdown passes, including one of 21 yards to Chad Lewis. Alcorn State and Sam Houston State, another game here on ABC. Steve McNair doing it on offense, but he cannot stop Sam Houston on defense. McNair here, 20 yards to Kobe Jenkins. Gets his 2nd touchdown pass of the game. Jenkins 2nd for receiving. And Steve McNair, here's what he's done on the season. 17 touchdowns, just 5 interceptions. Terry Dean of Florida would be number 2 on the list if you can include everyone in Division I. And Terry Dean has a lot of respect for Steve McNair.
You know, Steve McNair's having a great year, and I'm sure he'd even have, you know, good numbers if he was playing 1A ball. And you know, he's a great guy, but there's still a lot to go in this season, and you know, I plan on getting stronger and stronger.
Terry Dean is, without doubt, a Heisman candidate. Let's look at some other scores now. San Diego State facing Colorado State as they look to remain unbeaten. At 3-0 coming in, 19-17, the lead there. Cal and Arizona State, 21-11 is the score in the Pac-10. Syracuse, you'll see them next week on ABC. Some of you against East Carolina, they have taken the lead 14-10. Duke tries to remain unbeaten for Fred Goldsmith to go to 4-0, and they lead Georgia Tech at halftime 10-0. And Iowa being blown up by Oregon right now. 27-12 is the score in the second quarter. Whittle has 3 touchdown runs in the game. Right now, a listen to the Michigan band as we look at a few more scores from around the nation, including from the Ivy League. Penn now has won 14 games in a row as they knock off Dartmouth today.
A date on the calendar. Monthly exams. The beat of a heart. A glimpse into the future. All the pieces that add up to a large dose of caring and concern from a pioneer in managed health care. Because babies need to be taken care of well before they're born. Peace of mind. It comes with every piece of the rock. Gingerbread molding, colonial columns, a stained glass window, a white picket fence. Owning your own home is still a big piece of the American dream. One of America's most innovative real estate networks can help you put the pieces together, no matter which door you want to enter, which window you want to look out of. Peace of mind. It comes with every piece of the rock.
Welcome back once again to New York and the Prudential Halftime Report. I'm John Saunders. Back to the second half in a moment, but first some scores and highlights. We'll start off with a team that's been rolling through everyone this year. Penn State, and Kajana Carter is one reason why. 13 yards on this touchdown run as Rutgers could not haul him down. 19-0 was the score at that point. 55-27 the final. Rutgers, though, with 530 yards of total offense. That's the most against Penn State this year. On the offensive side, though, Kajana Carter, 15 carries, 122 yards and 3 touchdowns. Kerry Collins, 328 yards and 2 touchdowns. But afterwards, Joe Paterno didn't seem that pleased.
Oh, well, yeah. I know, I'm pleased, John. We were a little sloppy maybe in some spots. I thought maybe we went backwards in a couple of areas, but I'm pleased. Rutgers got a good football team. They'll win a lot of games. They've got some awfully good skilled people on offense, and they're young on defense, and obviously in the secondary they're young. We took advantage of that. But I think they're gonna beat a lot of football teams. They keep hustling the way they have been. So I think we beat a pretty good football team today.
Joe, you've scored 210 points in 4 games. Now, going into the season, you knew you had good skill players. Did you realize that your offense was this good?
Well, no, I don't think anybody would expect to score that many points in 4 games. No, I thought we would be a good offensive football team. How good, you have to play. I think Kerry Collins, obviously, is playing about as well as I've ever had a quarterback play for us, and he's running the football team, and we've got some, as long as he stays hot as he has been, we'll be a very, very good offensive football team.
Joe Paterno gets the win. So does Barry Alvarez, 62-13, bouncing back from the loss to Colorado. Darrell Bevel, 13 of 13, 184 yards and 3 touchdowns in the first half. In his backfield, Terrell Fletcher, 10 carries, 146 yards. Brent Moss, 25 carries, 110 yards and a couple of touchdowns. Tennessee up against Mississippi State. In this one, a surprise as Derek Tate goes 2 yards to Kendall Watkins. 24-21. Jackie Sherrill's squad has the lead, and they have the victory. Todd Helton had to leave the game with a sprain in his right knee. And as a result, Peyton Manning mopped up for Tennessee, but they get the loss. 24-21 is the final there. A look at top 25 teams that are idle this week. And one to point out is the #1 team in the nation, Florida, next week at Mississippi. Terry Dean, 13 touchdown passes and just 1 interception thus far this year. Top 25 teams later on. North Carolina will face #3 Florida State. You can see that game on ESPN. And also in the top 25 later, Baylor against USC. Rob Johnson, just 1 touchdown pass in his first 2 games. Also in that game for USC, the leading rusher for USC and the Trojans, DeLon Washington, will not be able to play against Baylor. There's some question as to his eligibility. That's all USC will say. Wake Forest against Maryland, as the Terrapins were looking to win for the 2nd consecutive week, something they hadn't done in 4 years, but they get it done against Wake. Kevin Foley goes 38 yards to Jermaine Lewis, his 2nd touchdown reception. Later, Lewis would have to leave the game with a dislocated shoulder, but it was 14-0 at that point. Kevin Foley is Glenn's brother of Boston College fame. He split time with Scott Milanovich, Maryland's first back-to-back win since 1990. And speaking of Boston College, they get their first win under Dan Henning, 21-9 over Pittsburgh. Billy West, 28 carries for 170 yards in a losing cause. David Green had 30 carries for 186 yards for the winning Boston College team. Georgia sneaks it out against Ole Miss, 17-14. Larry Bowie, 77 yards on the ground, 66 yards receiving, and a touchdown as well. It was a close one as Eric Zier, 24 of 44, 257 yards and 2 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, though, his first interceptions of the year. Before we leave you, our congratulations go to our colleague Keith Jackson, who this week was named to the Sportscasters Hall of Fame. Well-deserved, Keith. We'll get back with more in just a moment on the Prudential Halftime Report, but first, here's a look at some more scores. We start off with a team who had congratulations last week. That was Kent, but they lose. They can't make it 2 in a row. They won for their first and 17, 45-0, though. Central Michigan blows them out.
Financial concerns, medical problems, anxiety about the future. 50 million Americans turn for help to one particular company, a company whose sole purpose has always been to bring them to a different state of mind. Peace of mind, security, protection, optimism. Peace of mind. It comes with every piece of the rock.
A new set of academic standards will go into effect in 1995. To practice, play, or receive an athletic scholarship, freshmen will need a minimum grade point average in at least 13 core courses in high school and minimum score on the ACT or SAT. Make it a point to talk to your coach or your guidance counselor about these requirements. Prepare yourself now. It's never too early to hit the books.
This message provided by the NCAA.
The Prudential Halftime Report has been brought to you by the Prudential Peace of Mind. It comes with every piece of the rock.
The second half is straight ahead. First, a reminder, next Saturday at 3:30 Eastern, #4 Michigan invades Big Ten rival Iowa. The 7th-ranked Colorado Buffaloes stampede into Texas. UCLA battles Washington, or conference action from the Big East in the ACC. Check your local listings for the game in your area or which game's available on pay-per-view. Enjoy the second half.
A punctual boy, our son.
Punctual all over the world. UPS drivers are the same. Ask their mothers.
He's not rich. He's not handsome, but punctual.
He was even born on time.
They're obsessed with being on time. So UPS guarantees on-time delivery to hundreds of cities around the world or your money back.
If my son says he will be there, he will be there.
It's a guarantee that not only has our driver's word on it, it has their mother's.
He breaks out in a rush if he's late.
This is one long game.
They even ran out of food.
The fans must be hungry.
Call for a large 2-topping crunchy thin crust pizza and get a medium 1-topping pizza free.
Hello, I'm
Al Percolo, scout for the New York Yankees. You know, I think I know what's bothering the owners. Attendance stinks.
The Scout.
Check the men's room.
Rated PG-13. Starts Friday.
Athlete's foot. It's a predator made up of many types of fungus that eat your feet alive. You can't just cure some of them. You need a weapon to kill all of them. Lotramin AF. Full prescription strength medicine. The brand doctors recommend most. Lotramin AF is so powerful, it doesn't just kill some causes, it kills them all. Now in spray and powder. New forms, same killer results. Lotramin AF, the killer cure.
Visa salutes American Olympic champions. In 1984, Connie Carpenter-Phinney edged teammate Rebecca Twigg at the finish to win her cycling gold medal.
Rebecca Twigg and Connie Carpenter in the best position possible.
Twigg and Carpenter heading down the home straightaway.
In continued support of amateur athletics, Visa today is proud to donate another $1,000 to the U.S. Olympic team to support future Olympic hopefuls in their quest for the gold.
Oh, it's so cute.
Excuse me. Could you take a picture of us with Roro over there?
If you take off to the Italian town of Todi, but your camera just takes off,
Where'd they go?
you better have Visa Gold, because there's not a camera store there that takes American Express.
There's a great shot.
Visa Gold, it's everywhere you want to be.
Miami's 58-game home winning streak intact. They lead over the Washington Huskies 14-3 at the half. Weather certainly could become a factor. Depth and the heat and humidity down here in the Orange Bowl of Miami. We'll see how it unfolds. It is still very warm out right now and probably not going to cool down much here in the second half. 90 degrees. The temperature has gone up and the heat index 97 degrees. And Dick Vermeil, you're looking very snappy there with your suspenders.
You like these things? I'm a little short. My wife dresses me well.
I wish we'd put the short sleeves on here, partner. Listen, we had a defensive battle in the first half. Some great defensive plays.
You know, with the exception of Yatel Green's big play, I think the Husky defense would be very pleased with the way they were playing. But the Miami defense, I don't know if you could score on those people. They are unbelievable.
Well, let's go back down to the goal line now and show you some of the key moments here in the first half of the game.
Lawyer Malloy, number 9, remember, created the big play right down inside. Number 9 going to shoot the gap. He should have been able to be picked up right there by the guard, Ina, but he doesn't see him, and he should have picked him up. That was a mental breakdown. Big, big play. Stop the drive. Now, what's fair is fair. Off the corner, Twan Green. Forward, there he is. Wham! He nails him. Twan Russell, rather, gets the interception to Lewis. Now Yatel Green, a redshirt freshman, really getting to play for the first time. He's had a hamstring problem, so he didn't play last week. Number 87, Russell Harris, 26. Sits there. He looks in the backfield way, way, way too long. Ignores a gifted wide receiver who's just waiting for that long home run to come down.
Two-point conversion, and there are the numbers from the first half. Washington with 34 snaps, 2 more than the Hurricanes, but take a look at the total stat. Yards, 202 to 84, and down we go to Jackaroo. Jack.
Well, Brent, Coach Jim Lambright talked to his team, tried to get them to forget about that last possession that resulted in the points for the Miami Hurricanes. But he did say that they have definitely shut down Napoleon Kaufman, and they are going to make some major changes, specifically in some off-tackle plays in the second half. I had a chance to talk to Nipper as well. I said, boy, they've really shut you down cold. He said, look, that doesn't bother me as much as us winning the game. If they want to shut me down, maybe we can get some points from someone else.
Well, they'll get a chance here with the first series. Huskies will receive.
Huskies have not scored a touchdown in the second half in their previous games. The Hurricanes have not given up a touchdown in the second half previous games. Good kick.
It'll come out on the 20-yard line.
Nice kickoff.
C.J. Richardson went down there just to say hello anyway. Damon Heward and the Husky offense will go back to work. And let's see, Coach Vermeil, what kind of new wrinkles they'll put into this offense.
Well, I think draw, trap, and screen against that type of defense is as good as anything, Brent.
Offset the fullback. That's the first look.
Motion. Now they get the only 2 linebackers inside. You got to throw it out here to this guy.
Kaufman, there was daylight there to the 25-yard line, and Rohan Marley met him.
See what they'll do now against these tackles. Instead of taking them straight on with the guard, they'll block down with the tackle and step around the guard. A little less physical at the point of attack that way. You just have to make sure you'll watch to the right side of your screen. The tackle will block down. See, in TC 54, he steps around it. A little easier for the guard to do that.
There's their All-American defensive lineman, Warren Sapp, and he was being met by a couple of the big fellas of the Huskies, and they did a pretty good job on him that time. Second down now, and Huard sets that screen play, and it's Thomas, the fullback. He slips a tackle. First down, Huskies, and he breaks free at 45. Thomas with great speed busts into the open 20, 10-yard line. Oh, into the end zone. Napoleon Kaufman came out of nowhere to throw the last block, and it's Thomas, the fullback, goes for a 75-yard touchdown. How about that?
That's his first touchdown reception this year, and he's a little bit tired. Long way to run, but screen passes against this defense, as I said, Brent, pretty good. Now you've got to execute it well. See, he got a knockdown block there. Good skill then. He just cut back. Poor tackling right there. Now Kaufman, number 8, well, who's the fastest man on the offensive team, he's out of the picture. He will appear right here, and watch him get a block. He likes to play football.
Well, I want to tell you, we just had a development, and Coach Erickson over there on that other sideline, watching Thomas scamper into the end zone, he's got to be wondering about the decision to kick it off to start the second half. You might recall that Washington received the game's opening kickoff, and the Canes, with their defense so dominant, they decided to go back on defense down here.
I think they ought to go for 2, and that's what they're going to do, Brent.
It really blew up in their face.
Look out for a waggle pass now. Concentrate on Bruner, and they'll come out here, fake the action to the left, and now come out naked and try to get him the ball there, or back in the end zone. Got it.
Got him, Janoski.
Big play.
The Huskies score their first touchdown of the second half in '94, and the Canes give up their first touchdown on defense this year. We got a ball game.
Now, the world's most advanced long-distance network, AT&T, brings you the most lifelike sound quality ever. It's AT&T True Voice. Listen to the difference.
And go.
It's a breakthrough in digital voice reproduction, and it's part of your basic service, just because you are with AT&T.
What is thy bidding, my master?
There is a great disturbance in the force. It is battered.
If you only knew the power of the dark side.
Still going. Nothing outlasts the Energizer battery. It keeps going and going.
As your engine revs higher, the oil inside creates a hydrodynamic wedge, a protective layer that builds up and keeps engine parts separated. But as your oil's viscosity breaks down, so can the wedge. That's why Castrol GTX provides maximum protection against viscosity and thermal breakdown. Because if your viscosity breaks down, what's next?
Castrol GTX, engineered for greater protection against breakdown. Try Super Clean, the tough task cleaner degreaser from Castrol.
For 4 years, Buffalo has owned the AFC. Now John Elway and Denver are out to make the Bills pay. They meet on ABC's Monday Night Football.
In a stunning turnaround here in the Orange Bowl, Washington with a 75-yard touchdown pass to the fullback Richard Thomas. The Canes electing to kick it off again to start the second half, and they are burned. And now the Huskies' confidence soaring down here in South Florida. John Wales to kick it off. Shipman. Nice play. Shipman out to the 24-yard line, and Jerry Jensen bringing him down.
Here's that last big screen pass.
Dick,
with
this
Richard
is almost
Thomas.
a mistake by Kaufman.
He's enthused. He wants to make the play, but it became very close to a clip. Better off stay out of it when it's an insignificant play. Here's the two-point play. They're going to block here and freeze. Get action this way. Get the linebackers going this way. Then the quarterback's going to come out and hit the crossing pattern behind it. He fakes action, comes out there, no block it there. The tight ends come. Now he's looking for the man, wide receiver coming across. Did a nice job executing.
Costa goes deep on the opening play, and that time Reggie Reeser was in behind Jones.
They're going to stay back there now. They're going to stay back there now. Well, Rich Olson said that he wanted to stretch him, push him vertical. He sure did there. Probably didn't do it enough early in the first quarter.
Defense not sure how to react there on the bench. That's the first time they've yielded a touchdown in 3 games. Beat up on Georgia Southern. Then went out and buried Arizona State. We're ahead here 14-3 until that stunning turnaround. Now it is 14-11 Canes. Stewart's the running back. Slips. He was cut off at the pass, and Deke Devers came through, number 43.
Deke giving him a little bit of the hurricane type of pressure. Get up underneath, create havoc in their own backfield. He does a good job of that. He had 3 tackles for loss coming into the ball game and 3 sacks. He shows he can get into that backfield.
3rd and 11. The lights here. The twilight starting to flash off the helmets. The Huskies believing now. Harris is the motion receiver on the cutback. Costa intercepted. Washington with Russell Harrison walks in again. Back-to-back touchdowns for the Huskies, who have taken the lead in Miami.
Brent, the wide receiver, you tell Green, fell down. There was no receiver standing there. Easy interception. They gave him a 2-deep zone look, but instead they blitzed the outside linebackers. See, he's going to think it's a zone right now, but it's not. It's man-to-man. Here comes the blitzes off the corner. He throws it out. See, no wide receiver. He's supposed to run a comeback out there. No comeback. The only comeback is Russell Harrison getting his 6th interception in his career. Now, he's the guy that gave up the first big touchdown pass right at the end of the half, so he feels a little bit better after that one.
Russell Harrison gets even as he picks off Costa and goes third.